Well, you may have noticed as I was playing there that my technique is a kind of classical technique more than a folk technique, or at least half and half. With the right hand I play with my fingernails, or a combination of flesh and nail, and for quite a while I've been sticking little false nails underneath. These are actually made from cut up ping pong balls and super glue. It's a technique that quite a lot of steel string players have been using for a while, although it's now considered outmoded in favour of kind of compound nails that you can make up. The guitar I play is a Franklin guitar made down in Portland, and it's a very nicely balanced OM style steel string guitar. I like it a lot. And the strings I use are Didario strings, which I've been using for quite a while, and they're nickel strings, and they're pretty nice too. So let's begin by looking at the Earle of Salisbury. If you look at the music, you can see that it sort of breaks down basically into two 8-bar sections, and these sections are repeated. So basically you've got a 4-bar phrase followed by another 4-bar phrase that repeats in block, and then the music changes to an 8-bar section, which again can be broken down into 4 bars. No, wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be a set section of 8 bars that's repeated. So really there isn't a great deal of material to learn. The piece is just fantastic though. It's a pavane, which would have been one of the earliest and most stately of the court dances. So it should be very slow and sustained and as melodic as possible. So basically it starts with a bar A minor chord, which is rippled across with the thumb, and the top string in fact has a melody. Although there's a rest there, the melody goes. So the pickup note on the first chord needs to be played with the second finger of the right hand like this. And as this is a kind of later piece, apart from the general flow of the music, there is a general feeling of part writing with the moving parts. So there's a little bass figure there that goes as it was. So it's just got a little touch of swing to it. So there we are. The first bar is that. Little finger comes down on the C and drops down onto the B there for the melody. Now the chord should then be held as long as possible. It's written as if it's going to be held for a minute, which is possible. And then the move there is to go down from this position, the 4th position, down to the 1st position and drop right down. The inner phrasing here is just about as important, I think, as the melodic phrasing. So it's always a good idea to make this playing as clear as possible and to get a lot of contrast, if possible, between the lines. So the bar 2 is... And there the second finger comes up, you have the B string open, which brings you into the D chord at bar 3. There could be other ways of fingering that, but I guess the simplest thing is you need a top string there, is to drop the finger down to that position, bring sweeping into the chord, and then the melody is pretty nice. It's got an F sharp, like the sharpened sixth, a G natural, the flat seventh, the tonic again, and then it drops back to the leading note. So this is lovely stuff. I think this was first published in about 1611 and was a keyboard piece, a virginal piece. So the last bar before we get to the end of the first 4 bars is... So there's a bass line to remember as well as the top line, and then he brings you out on the major chord. Well, once you have those first 4 bars under control, they repeat again after the next 4 bars. I'm not really sure what else to say about that section. It has to be even, clear in the parts. So then the next section is slightly contrasting. It goes like this. Go back again on the C with the 4th finger. And then we're back again on the repeat of the first 4 bars. So the second 4 bars, starting at bar 5 there, is another section to look at, and if you notice it's quite a contrast to the original material, and it's very, very nice. It is in fact a melodic sequence, and it goes dwee. So this is very nice chordally. It's beginning to sort of point towards real tonal stuff. You can imagine this being taken on in the next century by Bach and really taken further. Harmonically it goes to an A minor to start off with, and then it would be round a chain of 4ths to a D minor 7, then to a G7, then to C major 7, then to F major 7, and then some kind of B with a flat 5 to the dominant, and it really is very sort of romantic sounding. You can imagine it filled out slightly more. It has that kind of feel built into it. So the idea is that it starts melodically on the minor 3rd of the A minor chord. The change comes halfway through the bar, so that's your minor 3rd of the D minor chord, and the top note becomes the 7th. Then it changes to the G7, and that becomes the 3rd. To C major 7th with no root, which is a bit of a pity. It would be very nice to sneak one in there. And then to the major 7th, bringing us out again in sequence to the 3rd of the F chord.